Hey guys, I want to welcome you to the weekly Wednesday for the Financial Freedom newsletter, where every week, every Wednesday, we delve into something inspirational, motivational, something excerpt taken from the Financial Freedom weekly newsletter. Wherever you are, if you're listening on Spotify, on iTunes, Google, be sure to click the like, subscribe, share, comment. And without ado, let's get into the show. Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode for the Financial Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Liu. And as you know, I talk about 4 different types of freedom: time, financial, location, health, freedom. And in that light, I'm always looking for people on the cutting edge, doing interesting things and making an impact. So today we have Liz Wilcox, and she is best known for her 2,000 plus users membership. She's got a newsletter and email marketing. So today's going to be talking about marketing, digital marketing, and I'm happy to welcome her to the show. So welcome.
Hey friends, I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, we're talking backstage, and the audience is, physicians, high income professionals, executives looking to promote their business, market themselves. And so you talk about this idea of email marketing, which is not a new concept, but you're a strategist. And so tell us more about your story and how you got started.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually started off really oddly. A lot of digital and email marketers, they might start off at an agency or working under a very high income personal brand. And that's where they, perfect their craft, and then they go out and, build their own thing. You guys, I started off as an RV travel blogger. So I was just traveling the country, trying to make, $1 here or there. But I listened to amazing podcasts like Dr. Chris's, and I realized that every guru, quote unquote, out there was touting about their email list. They, the number one mistake that they made was, oh, I didn't take my email list seriously in the beginning. I focused on social media, or I worked off of referrals until that dried out. And so, y'all, mama didn't raise no fool. I said, well, if all of these big time guys are focused on email marketing, that's what I need to do. And lucky for me, I'm traveling around. I didn't have very good internet, so it was perfect. Email doesn't take a lot of bandwidth the same way as going live on Facebook does. So I said, okay. And I just doubled down on email marketing, doubled down on building my email list, finding the right people. And once I got a list full of people, I started to ask them, the next step was create a service or create a product for the people on your list. So I asked them, what would you like from me? And, they told me, oh, you're really good at telling a story. You're pretty funny. So my first digital product was a collection of funny stories about the RV life. That sold something like $7,000 in the first few months. And, got picked up by an international sponsor, yada, yada, yada. I got really good at it. I created lots of other digital products, and people started asking me, you're a blogger, but you don't really blog. What are you doing? You obviously are making money. And I said, email marketing. And that's when I knew that I needed to sell that travel blog and go all in teaching people about email marketing. And that's why I love, and I'm so excited to be on the show today, because I love talking to people who aren't doing typical things. If you're already earning a high income over here from something you went to university for, you followed that path, and now you're trying to build something on your own. I love that so much. It's so different. It's so fun to talk to you, because email can be really simple. And for somebody who probably is still working their, 9 to 5, or maybe you have a private practice or something, you have your own firm, you don't have a lot of time. And email is just this really quick thing. So I'm excited to talk today.
Yeah. Really interesting story. And I get, for a lot of the audience out there, tell us a little bit, because sounds like you were a digital nomad. Was that through passive income? Were you able, were you
Yeah.
able to?
I mean, we all would love some passive income, but at first it wasn't very passive. Right now I have quite a bit. But at first, it really was that grind of getting people on my email list, getting visible. I'm doing this podcast today. That's in an effort. Maybe one day you'll join my email list. You'll say, oh, yeah, I like what Liz has to say. Doing things like that, blogging, guest blogging, getting on other people's blogs, that kind of thing. And I was mainly selling digital products. So I had a book. I launched a digital course. I had a digital summit, something that I hosted a lot. We've all been to conferences. I was doing that, I guess, before it was cool. I didn't even know, like, the term digital summit wasn't a thing. I hosted it on Facebook Live with some partners and split the profits. So things like that. I was just, any and every idea that I heard, I said, oh, yeah, I'll try that. I'll try that. And so that's how I was making income. And nowadays I have a membership. It's, it's $9 a month. I think Chris said 2,000, but right now it's at about 3,500 people. So you can do the math on that. And it takes me about 40 minutes a week to maintain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. And because a lot of the audience, they have, they're selling, either consulting, coaching, they have digital products, books, courses, memberships. And it's interesting how email, because it seems to me email is kind of like the modern day Rolodex. It's kind of like, you've got this and you build lists and gives you access. Why? And then you mentioned this idea of email versus social media, and tell us more. Should people just focus solely on email, or should they do both? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I'm not your mother, so I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will paint a picture for you. Raise your hand if you remember you were alive in 2022 and you remember a billionaire purchased a social media platform and suddenly it was on fire. Suddenly, employees started leaving in droves. They started charging for the blue check mark. People started leaving. Now, if you were building your entire audience, especially consultants, right? We all know which one I'm talking about, the blue bird, right? And if you're a consultant, especially high earners, I feel like a lot of professionals live on that platform. A lot of journalists talk to each other. A lot of, high earners talk to each other. We share information. We share articles. We talk to each other on that platform. If you built your entire audience on that platform and suddenly some guy comes in and starts, oh, I'm the boss now, I'm in charge, and your audience starts leaving in droves, you're kind of, left with the bag. So that's why I really recommend, should you focus all your energy on email? If you love social media, if it's working for you, LinkedIn, maybe you got a TikTok or something that's working for you, that's wonderful. I want you to keep doing the thing that's working for you, but I want you to recognize that those social media platforms are very centralized. As much as we like to think it's a corporation, we learned last year that one person can make and break the rules, okay? With email, it's a very decentralized platform. There are billions of users. We've got Yahoo, Outlook, Google. I'm sure there's, a ton more in different countries that I'm not even aware of. We have email service providers, right? Where you host your emails and send them. I use something called Convert. Maybe you've heard of MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Klaviyo. There are literally hundreds of thousands of these providers. It's a very decentralized platform. So in order for it to change, it would take years and years and years. And so you own that platform the same way maybe your real estate investing, that's important. Maybe that's part of your portfolio because you own it, right? And so that's why I really recommend, spending some energy on email. And, someone like me, I've gone all in. I've seen great results.
Yeah. And for the listener out there, they're interested in they're listening to this and they're like, oh, email, this is like another strategy I can use in addition. And how long would you say it takes for someone getting started email, see results or see success in their whatever they're selling?
Sure. So, we all love this answer. Well, it depends, Dr. Chris. It really does depend on how aggressive you're being with list building. If you have the right offer, oftentimes I see people, email doesn't work. That's usually because who they think is on their email list and who's actually on their email list are completely different people, right? Especially if you're running Facebook ads to generate leads. And then it's like, why isn't anyone booking a call? It's like, well, let's go back to the free offer you gave them or the incentive you gave them to sign up. Let's go back to who you're running these leads to, and let's look at your offer and, cross-reference. Does this actually make sense for the people you're getting? So it really depends on, if you nail that, you have a great offer and you're finding those right people, you can see pretty immediate results. Something that I suggest when you build your email list is to have something called a tripwire. So let's say I sign up for Dr. Chris's email list. He says, he's giving me a checklist for XYZ. And instead of sending me to a thank you page, once I hit submit, yes, I want to be on your email list, it takes me to a sales page, right? And this is a low cost offer that says, hey, while we're here, I know you're interested in X and Y, here's the perfect complement Z, right? Or here's a discount for my one-on-one, here's a coupon code, here's this, here's that. Just something, I'm sure we've all seen it. We've all signed up for an email list and suddenly we're being sold to. This does two things. Number one, hopefully some people will buy. It's not going to be a huge percentage. You're not going to make $1 million right off the bat, but it sets a precedent. Oh, I just signed up for this list. This person or this company, this is a business. They're offering me real solutions, not just free stuff that I can, ignore the rest of my life, right? How many emails do you sign up for and you never use the discount code, or, you never open up the PDF file, right? But so it takes them from that mindset to, oh, this is a business. This offers me real solutions that I can look at. And that's going to make your email list just right off the bat that much better and that much more lucrative for you.
Yeah, interesting. I've never heard that term, tripwire. Is really, I've always heard of, lead magnet or, something to get them to, but that's interesting, when the customer is there, by the way, there's this and that, and kind of looks like that's how you're able to turn, a $9 offer into, multiple six figures with no ads.
Absolutely, y'all. That's my $9 membership is my tripwire. You join the list and then it says, hey, if you really want to get started, just join this membership. This really is the best value, the most bang for your buck. Why not get it right now? And of course, not everyone is going to buy, but those really warm leads, those people that, they found me online, they heard me on a podcast, however I'm getting visible, those people that are really ready for the next step are going to join right away. So why not put it in front of them right away? It really helps capture not just those leads, but capture that revenue for yourself.
Yeah. Fascinating. And then this is, your journey is very interesting. And I really love the layout of your, website, kind of how you branded yourself. And so one thing that is interesting is you started out with the blog, looks like you sold it. You've been successful with email marketing, and now you speak and you help clients. So tell us more that journey from, you developed a skill, you got success, and now you're being an influencer. And, because some people are interested in turning their expertise and skill into helping others.
Absolutely. I think I hinted at this. It's really just about visibility, right? The more visible you can be, the more people are going to see you, the more people are going to see you as such and such expert. So when I was first starting in my RV days, in my email days, it was, I want to be the person. If you Google me, you'll see, oh yeah, she's got a loud personality. She's not hiding in the back of the room. And that is really important when you want to become that expert, right? When you want to, we're all high earners here. So we all are incredibly ambitious, I'm sure, right? And so, otherwise you wouldn't be trying to start this new thing over here. So you've got to be comfortable with getting visible and saying, hey, this is my methodology. This is how I do things differently. And, anybody who resonates should come over here and check this out. And so what I've done, especially in the email marketing business, I used to say to myself, if people ask me, what's your goal is, what are you trying to get at? What's success to you? I would say, if you're in a room and somebody asks a question about email, I want the other person to turn around and say, you need Liz Wilcox. And that was all, in the forefront of my brain. And that helped push me to, reach out to people like Chris, ask for people to, allow me to come into their spaces, to go into Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, TikTok, Instagram, wherever, and join the conversation. I'm not going to ask to be invited. I'm just going to join in, and I'm going to be a little unashamed, aggressive about what I have to teach. And again, it's going back to, I know I have this thing. I know that I do it differently, and that's why it's better. And I want to go out and find those people that need me, right? Because some people, the way I teach email is different than other people. And they're going to find their right people. But I know there are people out there that are going to resonate exactly with what I've got to say. And so it's my responsibility to go out there and find them. So just, any sort of visibility I can get, I'm going to take it. I don't care if I'm just talking to, the person who asked me. Nobody comes live. Nobody listens to the podcast. Nobody reads the blog post, but the person that published it. If I can just connect with that one person, that's good enough for me. That's enough visibility for the day, because I'm playing a long-term game. I know, just like, I had to go out and get my master's degree. That took 6 years. That was a long time, but I knew it was going to pay off at the end. That's the same in my business. It might, feel like a grind, or, oh, I only talked to 2 people today, or I don't even know if they're going to publish that and when. It's all about just, knowing that I'm putting in the work, I'm laying the bricks, and one day I'm going to have that wall. I'm going to have those followers. I'm going to have that revenue, and I'm going to establish that expertise that I know I have.
Yeah, interesting. I love this. I love that idea. It's something what you're describing as the compound effect, little things, and then they add up. And it's a great way to end the interview, the chat. So how can people contact you, follow you, reach out to you? I know you're a speaker, and you're looking for clients as well. So how can they work with you?
Absolutely. So, of course, I'm an email marketer. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to join my email list right now. You can go directly to lizwilcox.com. In the top right-hand corner, there's a hot pink button. You cannot miss it. It's going to give you everything you need to get started with email. If you're like, yeah, I've heard of it, maybe I've tried it, but I'm not really doing much with it, I don't understand it, this is for you. So you're going to get a welcome sequence that's already written for you. So that when you get those new leads, they're going to be welcomed, and you're going to take them from follower to friend to customer in that welcome sequence. You're also going to get 3 newsletter examples, so you can see how to get people to click, how to get people to reply, and how to get people to buy directly from your newsletter. And if that's not enough, I know writing from scratch totally sucks. You shouldn't do it. I'm also going to give you 52 subject lines for a year full of prompts, so you can really get going. That's Liz Wilcox, hot pink button. You can't miss it.
Awesome. And let's thank Liz for really interesting story and very interesting content. Be sure to check her out on her social media as well as her website. Remember the hot pink button on the right. So, and with that, thanks so much for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to see what everybody does with email.
I hope you really enjoyed that wonderful, inspirational, motivational piece. Again, wherever you are listening, if you liked it, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We're on everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Audible. And without much ado, be sure to thank this show's sponsors, and we'll see you next week.